Hi, my name's Candice and I'm a personal trainer, and today I'm doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to do a Q&A on a question I get asked quite a bit, and that is how to lose weight. So one of the main ways of losing weight, and the first thing that we're going to talk about, is calorie counting. So you can track what you're eating through apps. Some of the popular ones are things like MyFitnessPal. With those, you input what you're eating. It can help you to work out the amount of calories in that particular food, and then you can just keep a track of what you're eating throughout each day. Once you've got an idea of what you're eating and what you should be consuming for your body weight, for your activity levels, you can then reduce that slightly. So about 200 calories lower will really start to get you losing weight. The thing is, we want the weight loss to be slow and steady. So we'll get it going with this small reduction, and then we start adding in everything else. So next we will be looking at reducing your fat intake. We want to make sure that you're continuing to eat some good fats, some unsaturated fats. These come from things like nuts, some oils, fish, things like that. What we want to cut out are the saturated, the hydrogenated that you'll find in processed foods. So start by cutting out processed foods and then working your way down on other fats, reducing the amount you're having within each meal. Again, you can use that tracker, if that's easiest for you, to work out what calories are in those fats that you're consuming and what type of fats they are. So next you want to be cutting down on your sugar levels. So your natural sugars that you find in fruits and some vegetables are fine. They're fructose, and because they're natural, they're easy for the body to break down. What we're looking at is the refined sugars. That's what you want to be cutting down, sort of the unnatural ones. So get rid of the sugar in your tea, coffee, whatever you're drinking. Make something like stevia, which is a natural plant-based sugar. And then look at cutting down on ready-made meals, again the processed foods, because they put a lot of sugar in to make them taste better. You will also find that if you start cutting down on your refined carbohydrates, that will help to reduce your sugar levels. They tend to have a lot of sugar stored in them, so things like bread, potatoes, things like that can have quite a high sugar level. So maybe go over to your rice, try whole wheat rice, whole wheat pastas, pulses, beans, those sort of things, instead of your generic white carbohydrates. One of the main reasons for cutting out these sugars and refined carbohydrates is because they can cause spikes in blood sugar levels, which then can cause dips and troughs in your energy levels. Next, especially if you want to be building muscle or retaining muscle mass, you want to be increasing the amount of protein in your diet. So you want to make sure that at every meal you've got some form of protein. Now, this doesn't have to be animal protein. If you're vegetarian or vegan, there are ways of getting enough protein through vegetables, beans, pulses, those sort of things, without having to resort to your animal proteins. But obviously the most common ones are fish and chicken. You can substitute with protein shakes, there is nothing wrong with that. If you need added calcium, mix them with milk. If again you're following a vegan diet, just stick with the water. There are some lovely vegan protein shakes out there. You just find one that works for you. And with drinking, always remember to drink plenty. This helps keep your body hydrated and functioning normally and effectively. There's lots of recommended daily amounts, but I find the best way is to just make sure you always have a drink nearby, so you can just be sipping at it. It could help with your hunger, because sometimes you're not hungry, you're thirsty. So just go with what your body needs. Always be moving. This is something that I really do like to reiterate to all my clients and, you know, the members at the gym. The more you move, the more calories you will burn. So you want to be aiming for at least 30 minutes of activity every day, but the more the merrier. Split that movement between strength training, cardio, and remember, always be stretching. So stretch before your workouts, stretch after your workouts, do some yoga, whatever feels good for you. Make sure that you don't get too tight, your muscles don't become too stiff. You know, just help to keep you moving more naturally. And the strength training doesn't have to be heavy muscle building. It can just be an endurance, high rep, low weight way of building a certain amount of muscle tone and keeping your bones, your muscles, your joints strong. But obviously, if muscle building is what you're after, go for it. You know, strength training, you're looking at reps between 5 and 8. For building real good muscle mass, you're looking at between 8 and 10 reps, and you know, anything over 10 reps, you're then working in that endurance phase. So just pick what suits you best. I tend to go for a more strength training program, being a power lifter, but obviously I do cycle through the others because each stage has its own benefits. And of course, finally, on food side of it, be very careful of snacking and portion sizes. The thing with snacking is that you cannot realise how much you're actually consuming because you think it's just a little bit here, it's just a little bit there. But when you actually look at the amounts you're eating, i.e. portion sizes, you can find that you're actually eating a lot more than you realise. For portion sizes, you can also check on the government guidelines, which I'll put in the comments below for you to have a look at. Now these give you good guidance for what a portion size is, and you know, things like for fruit and vegetables, palm size amounts. So what you can fit in your palm is normally a good amount, and then that way you have a visual of what a portion size is as well as weights. Because it's all well and good weighing all your food out, but what do you do if you're in a hurry, in a rush? You tend to just grab something and eat it. Whereas if you know you grab a small handful of something, like some blueberries, you know that you're eating one portion size. So you know what calories are in that and what is then contributing to your daily intake. Finally, I'd like to touch on the whole idea of this emotional eating. So there are people out there that will eat through stress, anxiety, because they're feeling sad, lonely, whatever your reason. Again, try to just think about what you're eating. So a good way of doing this is using mindful eating. So be aware of what you're eating, why you're eating it, how much you're eating, and just keep a close eye on those portion sizes again. While you're doing mindful eating, the best way to explain it is to be conscious of what you're eating. Chew your food. Think of the texture of the food. Think of the taste of the food. You know, is it something you enjoy? Is it something you like? Or are you just eating it because you're eating it? It's a hard subject, but you do have to be very aware of what you're eating. And remember, if you're tracking it, it does exist. That food you've just eaten must go on that tracker so that you know what you've consumed in that day. Even if you've thought, do you know what, I've had a really bad day, I'm going to have a chocolate bar, stick it on there. If it puts you over your calories, it puts you over your calories. Nobody's perfect. Tomorrow is a new day, start again. But at least with this mindful eating, you know what you've done, you know why you've done it, you know how much you've consumed, and it's something that you can work on. The biggest thing I want to reiterate with weight loss is slow and steady. There is nothing wrong with taking time to lose the weight, because the slower you lose the weight, the better you become with your own diet, taking control of your own food, and the more likely it is that you'll keep the weight off in the long run. I hope this was helpful for you, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to like, subscribe, and contact me through email, social media, Instagram, Facebook. This particular question came through on my Facebook, and also is something that I regularly get asked by clients and gym members, and it's something that is quite close to my heart, because it's something that I struggle with. Keeping that weight off is hard. You do have to work at it, but it is worth it. Good luck with your weight loss journey. As I said, subscribe to my channel and there'll be more videos, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye.